Every renovation channel seems to start their first day from getting the house. But there's a blank area of how they find the house. And that's what we will cover today. How to find a house to buy in UK. Now, put yourself in my shoes. A foreigner, more specifically Chinese, moving to the UK from abroad, longing to find myself a dream house to call home. But things don't go smoothly as I thought. The property buying process can feel confusing, challenging, and very different from what I'm used to in my home country. Houses aren't listing the same way, and the prices don't work the way I expect. As a first-time buyer, I am lucky to have a British partner with trained eyes and compatible skills to guide me through from the first viewing to completion day. After sharing some of my viewing experience into my Chinese social media, I was surprised that my channel attracting thousands of followers who are or plan to be on the same journey. So in the upcoming videos, Andy, my partner, and I will break down the basic knowledges you need for property hunting in UK. Where to look, how the system really works, interpreted jargon in the listing, and some common mistakes foreign buyers often make in the procedure. We truly wish our videos will help people like me make a smarter move and avoid nasty surprise in the journey. To start with, we will use one listing that's shared by my followers in my social media in Rightmove as an example, showcasing what to look for in the listing. For those who are not familiar with the UK housing market, Rightmove and Zoopla are the two main property listing platforms. Both work the similar way and mostly, often with the same properties. You can also visit local estate agencies for further details or specific inquiries, but we will leave that for the future videos. Now, let's crack on. A property listing normally consists of the following information to help form your initial ideas about a property. That include photos of interior and exterior of the property, key features, agent's description, utilities and the surrounding area information. Main thing we're looking at is the possible expensive things might cost to fix or replace. And please keep in mind that this is just a sample case. Each house will have its quirks and issues that may vary your judgment. So what you find in this house might not be applicable to another one. Okay, enough explanation, let's get on the real work.
Okay, so the first thing I'm looking at is the overall condition of the house. Does it look like it's been well maintained? This house looks like it's been painted relatively recently. I'm looking for things that will cost us to fix or repair. For example, this house, the first thing I can see is that it's already got double glazing. That's good because double glazing is expensive to put in and ruins all the decorations. Okay. The next thing I'd be interested on this one is because it's in a city, is what the parking situation is. I can't see any double yellow lines, so you can probably park outside, but it'd be worth looking into. Now I'm going to zoom in a bit, and I'm now checking that there's no obvious signs of major roof problems. And already I can see something that I'd want to go and see in person. Because looking at this roof line, it looks like there might be a dip in the roof there. And roofs are very expensive to repair. I don't think it's a big issue, but I can't really tell from the photograph. It could just be the angle it's at. Second thing I'm noticing, which is slightly odd, is that the drain, the guttering along the front of the house, seems to just run out onto the pavement, which is a bit unusual. So I'd want to check on that more in person. Right, and then we just keep going through the photos. So, rear garden looks okay. There's no big trees. Big trees close to the house are a big no-no because they can damage the foundations of the building, and when you go to get an insurance quote it will ask, are there any big trees within 5 meters of the house or what have you, There is a tree in the garden, but it looks like it's a fair way up, and I can't see any other big trees. Can't see any big problems with the garden, so we'll move on. Right, this one of the lounge. Okay, I can already see an interesting problem here. There is watermarks up to the left of the chimney breast. So either there is a current leak or there's a previous leak. So that will need to be figured out, because if it's a current leak, it could be difficult to fix. If it's a previous leak and it's dry and it's already been fixed, the chances are it's a previous leak and nobody's redecorated since it happened. I'm also looking around. I can see that there are smoke alarms. The design of the house says that it probably used to have a front room and a rear room, and they've been knocked into one room, which is why there's a big beam in the ceiling. That will be holding the upstairs up, and that would have been the...
So that used to be the wall, probably divided two rooms.
Yeah, traditional house of this kind in the UK would typically used to have had a small front room and a small rear room, and they've been knocked through into one. Not a big problem, but it does mean the house has been modernised. Looking at the next picture, you can see the fireplace has been bricked in. There's a very nice spiral staircase, I like that, and I'm not seeing any other problems. Looks like it's been nicely decorated to a reasonable standard. Again, another one of the lounge showing it going through. Again, I'm not really seeing anything to concern me. Another one of the lounge. There's a box up on the wall. And well, let's deal with the first box first. There's a box up on the wall, which may be a doorbell. I don't know what that is, but I'd be interested to find out. Okay. The round thing, that is a thermostat for the central heating, but it's quite old-fashioned, which probably means the central heating is, it's got central heating, so it's relatively new, because you can see radiators in the rooms as well. Yeah. But it's probably getting on a little bit, because the thermostat hasn't been replaced for a modern digital one. It's an old-style analog. Next photo. Right. In the kitchen, I can immediately see two things of note. One is that on the right-hand side here, above that countertop, is a big power switch. Now, that power switch would have been for an electric oven or grill at some point, which means the kitchen has been rearranged. I mean, it's not necessarily a problem, but it is something to take a look at, because it means the oven is now somewhere else, which I can't see in this photo. Also, I can see that there's what looks like a plinth heater under the counter on the left that doesn't look like it's fitted correctly, because it's got a gap and it's sticking out. That's not right. So would be worth looking at, but it's only a plinth heater. It's not a huge deal. There are also two grills. Is that a fridge or maybe in there? Because it's got two grills on the side of the counter to allow air. So it may be that that's a fridge there. Probably needs looking at to see why it's not in the right place. And in the next photo, you can see it is sticking out. So possibly it just hasn't been clipped back in place properly. So not a big deal. You can see now the oven is over here to the left. That is good, because that looks like an electric oven to me with a gas hob, which is exactly what you want. Because gas is better for boiling pans because it goes on and off instantly. Electric ovens give a more even heat. So that is the best combination to have, is an electric oven with a gas hob. And also another good thing is it's got an extraction hood above it. But because it's in the middle of the house, not on an outside wall, it's probably the recirculating type, which aren't as good, because it doesn't extract the cooking smells to the outside. It extracts them through a filter and back into the room. which is fine, but it means you've got to keep changing the filters, and obviously it doesn't work as well as just extracting it to outside. From these photos, it looks like the plinths, I think it might just be the camera angle, but it looks like the plinths under the counters to either side of the washing machine might not be square, but it could just be the camera using a fisheye lens. Next photo. Right, again, oh no, that's where the fridge and the freezer are, so I don't know what that is under the counter because they're this side. Again, I'm looking for power sockets. Okay, next photo, the landing. There's nothing really to see there. I'm a bit confused about that window because it's a terraced house, so where is that side window? Or is it a mirror, maybe? Maybe it'll become clear. Also, I can see smoke alarms upstairs as well, which is good. Another radiator with the central heating. Everything looks fine. Okay, this bedroom looks fine. It's newish carpets by the looks of it. Yeah. Looks like the decoration's been done fairly well. The skirting boards look nice and clean and straight painted lines. Big fitted wardrobes. Some people like fitted wardrobes, some people hate them. Just something to bear in mind that if you wanted to take them out, you might have to decorate behind it because it may have been decorated around them. It all depends on what order they were put in. Next photo. Again, this room, reasonable size. Carpets look okay. Radiators, double glazing. Nothing to report really. Everything's fine. Door handles look like nice quality, which means I think in general, looking at this house, the fittings look like they're not, budget fittings, so that's good. Okay, bathroom, electric shower. Yeah, okay, so the electric shower is a good and a bad thing. It's bad if you like a powerful shower because it won't have as much water flow as one that comes from a tap. But it is good sometimes because it is another source of hot water. If, for example, your boiler dies and you can't have a bath, you can still have an electric shower. So it's quite handy to have one. But, some people might want to connect up to the existing tap there. I'm not seeing anything else other than this tiling here, this dark blue tiling. It doesn't look like it's been done very well, but not a problem, but not a very good standard. Right, another one of this must be the second bathroom then. Yeah. Oh, and this does have a mixer tap shower. Okay. So this one runs off the hot water. It looks like the toilet plumbing's a bit of a mess. It's not a problem, but it's a bit of a mess. These days you can get a system that when it overflows, the safety pipe overflows internally. Yeah. This has got an external pipe which has been plumbed straight into the drain, which looks a bit of a mess, but it's not a big problem. I'm going to move on. Right, this sort of study area looks nice. Plenty of power sockets, which is good if you're going to use it as an office, and they're above the desk, so you're not scrabbling around your hands and knees trying to plug things in. And another of those boxes, probably doorbell again, I guess. Next. Right, and this is the room that looks out onto, I guess, the roof terrace. It was mentioned in the description. The curtains don't really fit, which is a bit of a shame. So I would be budgeting for some curtains or getting those altered so that they fit and don't drag on the floor. Right, roof terrace. Well, it could be a lot prettier, couldn't it? Plastic grass, which is all wrinkled up, and a plastic sheet around the balcony. Now, the plastic sheet around the balcony, I guess, is for the wind and privacy. I mean, obviously, my first thought would be to replace it with something like some wooden planking, but you may not be allowed to do that. It might be a planning permission thing, yeah. Okay. Well, this is unusual. So, this roof stuff. So, the first thing is it's a flat roof. This extension part is a flat roof. They need maintaining every so many years, depending upon what you get it covered in. Mm-hmm. They need replacing or they start leaking. It would be worth asking when was the last time it was replaced. Okay. because they normally come with a warranty when they're replaced, like 15 years or something.
Okay.
So if it's been done recently, you want to know so that you've got the warranty. That guttering at the right hand end looks like it's drooping and sagging, so that would need looking at and fixing. Okay, first big problem here.
Oh.
These wooden doors look like they desperately need some attention. Now they either need, depending upon how rotten they might just need rubbing down and repainting, in which case it's not too bad.
Right.
Or they might need completely replacing, which would be much more expensive. So when looking around the property, I'd want to be looking at those and seeing if that wood at the bottom is soft, or there seems to be an outside tap under that window, which is odd. And there's two vents. I guess one's probably the toilet and one's probably the boiler, and they don't look to be very well fitted to me. So I'd want to be checking inside for leaks. Oh, and the timber around the top of the extension, for want of a better word, also looks like it needs attention, painting, and is rotted. This stuff that's growing up and around the bottom of the sloping roof needs clearing away immediately. If whatever that plant is has roots, the roots will grow underneath the tiles and you'll have leaks in the house from it.
And they retain water.
And they retain water, wick water up. You do not want any plants at the edge of a roof like that. Okay, is there anything else to say on this? But the one thing I want to go back to is that water leak. So going back to the third photo, that water leak is at the back of the house as you come in the middle. So what we want to do at that now is look at the floor plan. Because where is that water coming from is the question. So looking at the floor plan, the leak is there, which is directly below the bathroom and the shower room. So you'd be looking at a leak from the bathroom or the shower room and whether or not it had been fixed. Now, sometimes a leak like that is easy to fix. It just needs some new silicone seal around the bath, for example. But on other occasions, if it's a pipe leaking under the floorboard, you could have to take half the bathroom out to find it. It wouldn't put me off buying the house, but I'd want to look and ask about it. And I think that about covers it.
Thank you for watching. Join us for part 2. We're going through the rest of information in the listing. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. We'll see you in the next episode.